Yeah. So I did not mind.
Okay, it is live. Oh my God, I'm telling you, tomorrow's episode of The Young and the Restless Girl. Oh my goodness.
What
Ooh,
happened?
crazy.
Or who's it involving?
Audra and Tucker, and the
Okay.
Winters versus the Abbotts. Oh my God.
The Winters versus the. Oh,
Versus
wow.
Jill and Billy. Hey,
Oh, Lord.
Janet. Hello, hello, hello. We're gonna give it a minute or so, before we get started, so everybody can come on in here. But I'm telling you, Bree, tomorrow is crazy. This could be when it comes, because there's a vote happening tomorrow. Okay, to neutralize Billy and put all of them on equal footing, which is what Lily and
Oh.
Devon wants, and Jill is hotter than fish grease. But it's a tie vote because Billy and Jill is going to vote one way, and Lily and Devon is voting. Well, guess who's the tiebreaker?
Oh, of course. That's what she was living for. Good
Abby.
for Abby.
Yeah, but she
Good.
voted with Jill.
What?
Oh, girl. She's mad at the. I said, so your little hot affair, the cracks are forming.
Oh yeah, definitely. I cannot wait for that.
Oh yeah, girl, it
Oh,
is.
I need to see Devon's face.
Girl, he's
Was that
looking
face
like.
cracked?
Wait a minute, he's looking like a lost puppy, and Lily is just like. All I can see is Mamie sitting in the cut back there somewhere laughing.
Yes. Part of me hopes she's like hiding in the vent, like
Look, girl, she didn't took that
Angela
wig. Look,
Bassett.
Bree, she didn't took that wig off, put her feet up, tied her hair up in a scarf, and is kicking back, laughing out loud. If I'm telling you, if that was me, that's what I would be doing right now.
Yeah, and not worry about anything they have going on. They want me out. They said I'm the problem. Okay, I'm gonna remove the problem. I'm gonna relax.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of what made me like. Probably some iced tea, some
Right.
watching night court, something. She's gonna relax and take herself on out of it. I
Oh.
cannot wait to see if they're gonna reach out to Mamie with everything going
Listen,
on.
there's no sights of her for this week. So, I mean, when she left out of that mad last week and they was calling her the problem, please. She
Yeah,
was
I'm out.
she was a cakewalk compared to what's happening right now. And Phyllis is going to drop those. Remember those secrets that she had about Chancellor?
Mm-hmm.
She's
Oh
dropping
yeah.
them to Tucker, girl.
That she's an idiot. That's only going to help Devon, but I mean, it doesn't benefit her Daniel at
Well,
all.
think
But
about it. They need somebody on their side because with this impasse right now, the way that it looks, Billy can veto everything Devon and Lily want.
what was Jill thinking? What qualifications did Billy have to be put in this position?
Oh
Did she get
Lord.
amnesia? Did she
Mm-hmm.
forget that her son is unqualified for a lot of things? I mean, if anything, he would be a great busboy. He would be a great bus driver. He would. He could probably babysit. I mean, he's never around his kids, but I'm sure he likes kids. I mean, everything but this particular position. What was she thinking?
I know. And everybody, I guess some people have seen it. And so those that have not, what we're kind of preluding to without giving everything away is the May 16th Thursday episode of The Young and the Restless. I'm telling you, you guys, you are absolutely going to enjoy it.
I just want to see the Winters faces. Everybody, every person, especially Lily, because Lily, especially after what she was saying to Daniel yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
um, Yeah, she's gonna be eating a lot of crow this year. How did she go from helping her daughter out and then can't come back and eating a lot of
I know,
crow?
I know. And some of the people, like Monique Abrams, said Devon thought just because he was sleeping with Abby, she would automatically just vote for him.
Nope.
Um,
This
um,
woman had your whole child.
right. Amaya says, I mean, Billy is Abby's uncle. Why did Devon think he could do that without discussing it with her? Yeah, I mean, and she even brought that up. She said, I'm sick and tired of being tied in between loyalties. And she didn't expect Devon to put her in the middle. Whoop. How did you, girl?
Yeah. She is perfectly fine with him being in the middle, but now she can't put herself in the middle of
Right.
anything.
Okay.
And the thing is, oh, I'm sorry.
Listen, girl, we've been talking about you haven't even seen tomorrow's episode and we already talking about it.
I can only imagine. I can only imagine.
All
She's been
right.
dealing with the Newmans and the Abbotts. She's
Right.
used to being in the middle of all people.
Exactly. Exactly. All right, so welcome you guys. I know we kind of got on a whole different track because I was so excited about tomorrow's episode of Young and Restless. I think it is really good. For those that have seen it, you know what I'm talking about, and for those that have not, get ready for it. What we're going to do is we're going to do the midweek chat. It is Wednesday. We're about 30 minutes later than usual because I got in kind of late. I had to run some errands after I got off work. So, not too late, but 30 minutes later than usually. I usually try to start it at about 6 o'clock Central Time. But we're going to talk some bold stuff, okay? And there's a couple things we're going to touch on. We're going to touch on the Sheila and Steffy confrontation. We're going to touch on the Brooke and Zende confrontation. Liam and that whole situation where he was, I guess, trying to convince Deacon to not be happy about being in a relationship. And Luna being pregnant. Or maybe.
I was laughing at that. I was laughing. Oh my goodness. That girl could have had acid reflux. She could have been stressed. It could have been a lot of other different things. Why did she immediately go to, I'm pregnant?
Yeah, that was weird to me because she was perfectly fine and she was so happy. Zende and her, I guess, getting a fresh start. And then she goes sit down behind the desk, and all of a sudden, boom, she keels over into the garbage, thingy, and throws up. And then she, oh, am I pregnant? I'm like, girl.
Am I pregnant? Oh my goodness. I don't know where she got that. And then she was saying that she was on the pill, which that could also, I mean, TMI, guys, but, everyone's grown here. That could also make you nauseous. So it could be a lot of different things. And, how long was she on birth control?
Right.
She just started getting it in.
Okay, hold on one second. Melissa Spencer, she said someone on a different channel said that Matt Atkinson gave an interview that said he quit Bold to explore other opportunities. Have I heard anything? Can you do me a favor, Melissa? I don't know if you follow me on Instagram. Can you send me the link to that channel if you've watched it on YouTube, it should still be in your YouTube history. See if you can send me that so I can do some research on that. I have not seen anything about Matt Atkinson quitting. So, yeah, let me know. And then if I listen to, once I listen to that other video, I can kind of see maybe what details that they give, and maybe I can look up some sources and something to verify.
So, that would break my heart.
I mean, if Matt wants to get out of soap world and do movies or something.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I understand. The same with Justin Hartley and a lot of other actors. I mean, Eva Longoria wouldn't be the success she was if she didn't leave, Y&R and so on and so forth. So good for him. It's sad for us as viewers because who else could be Thomas? Yeah. He has solidified that role. That is his role. There's no other face I can think of besides Max. No
Right.
offense to the other actors who played Thomas, but that man is the face of. I'm sorry, he is the face of that series at this
And
point.
Amaya is saying Connor Floyd is maybe on recurring status. So I gotta dig into some of this stuff. I like to verify before just putting stuff out there for clicks and views. I'm not that type of content creator, you guys. So I need to find out so that, I can at least give you accurate information if that's the case. It's good to be responsible with the information that you put out. You know what I mean? So I'll
Oh
find
yeah.
out if you can send me the link to that channel, or I'll do some, some other stuff and look online and maybe see what I can find. But I follow him on Instagram and he haven't said nothing.
That would break my heart, but I understand that, it can't be the only role you had to expand and explore your options, but that would suck. Like, what are we going to do without Thomas? They
No.
mention him even with this man being off screen for the past, almost 2 months now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, well, I'll keep looking. We'll find out whether that's the case or not. Okay, you guys? All right. We were talking about Luna, girl. That whole thing, I mean, I'm glad they gave us a little bit more conversation today, because yesterday at the end, she was just like, oh, am I pregnant? It's like, girl, you could have had a bad lunch. You could be coming down with something, you know. But today, she said her period has been irregular. She thought it was stress. But, and I'm glad that they connected the dots, because the fact, remember, we said the same thing on the Friday Night Live, that um, Zende used protection. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
And then with the birth control, she said she was on a pill. So, I mean, nothing is 100% unless you're celibate or abstinent, right? That, I mean,
Right.
if you're not, you're not screwing, nothing can happen. But I don't know how they're going. Maybe she's just not pregnant. Now, here's another theory, and let me know what you think about this, Brie.
Mm-hmm.
Could they just say she's not pregnant, right?
Mm-hmm.
Could they be tying together? And this is all speculation. This is no spoilers or anything, but it hit me earlier today when I was watching it. If she's not pregnant, but something else is going on with her, that she's
Right.
sick or something, right? And maybe she needs some type of a transplant or blood work, a blood or whatever it is. Could they also tie together her paternity situation with this? Because if she needs a donor, everybody would be more than happy to take a test, including Finn. And if that test come back and they say, well, look like you might be her father, they could be going that route. That's just far fetched, but what do you think about if they was to take it that way?
I actually, that would be great. I mean, you're doing more writing than they are. Um, more of a thought process than they are about this storyline.
Mm-hmm.
I actually wouldn't mind that. That would make perfect sense. Like, this would kind of like be like a precursor to what she's really going on. But if she's having stomach problems, I don't know, wouldn't they have like led to her being sick? Same way they were like leading towards Eric being sick, where we saw like different signs, him coughing up and all of that. We haven't really seen, like, if they were to go that direction.
But we talking
I
about
would,
bold writers, Bree. They're never
yeah.
consistently with they don't really have good continuity with their storylines.
That's a good point. But that would be really interesting to kind of tie them in. That would definitely have to tie Lee in. But I
Mm-hmm.
think Finn is kind of dealing with all this, his foolishness and his stupidity, and him about to lose his wife. That they're probably going to keep him wrapped up in that. But I think it'll be a really interesting storyline if they went that direction. But I
Girl,
think they're probably going to make this girl pregnant.
yeah, yeah, I mean the most easiest direction, but it's stupid to me because the fact of the matter is one situation. It'd be different if she was, having sex with a boyfriend. They're both young and she got pregnant. Okay, fine. But you got a situation where she didn't even know where she was. And you
They
want to
called her
throw,
cute.
you know what I'm saying? And they want to throw a baby in the middle of that. It would have been better if she thought she was pregnant, but something else is wrong with her that's going to require something major. You know what I'm saying? And that she needs some form of a DNA connection, which would now bring in that other paternity storyline. I mean, I know. Listen, we do need to write for them, don't we?
Yes, as a matter of fact, we're going to petition. I'm already getting a petition together to keep Matt Atkinson on,
Mm-hmm.
because we desperately need Thomas. And I'll go ahead and put a petition out there, say like, look, we need to write for you guys.
I mean, could you imagine if that was the case? It would have been a pivot. So everybody's thinking that they're going to the pregnancy thing. Oh my God, who's the daddy? Zende, RJ. The girl ain't even pregnant. She's sick. And
Yeah.
what is like somebody wrote in the comment section, it would force Poppy to reveal who her father is if she need a donor of some sort. That was Delmonica. Yep.
That would be the assumption that she knows that the man is in town
Mm-hmm.
and had always had access. That's going to actually kind of hurt her relationship with Luna a little bit, because like you had this whole access this whole time to this man.
Mm-hmm.
But that would be way more interesting than the fact that she slept with two men within the same time frame. But she literally went from RJ to Zende back to RJ within 48 hours.
And you know what?
And
You go ahead. I'm sorry. I thought you were done.
oh no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say it ties into what you were saying about bringing Lee into this, because if she goes into some serious situation, Lee as her aunt would most definitely be part of that. Now that would blow up in her face if Jack is the father.
Oh yeah.
So even if it was Jack or Finn, and she needs, it forces Poppy to say who the daddy is because she needs some sort of donor, that could either put Jack or Finn in the hot seat when it comes to that.
I'm really hoping that Jack is Luna's dad. That would be such a great storyline arc, and then we can see not Luna, but Lee taking care of her ex-husband's grandchild. I don't know. I would rather Jack be the father versus Finn be the father of Luna,
Mm-hmm.
but I would love for them to loop Lee in somehow. Like it would have been great if Luna was like, "Look, I'm scared, Aunt Lee. I know we don't get along. Can you help run this DNA test for not DNA, this pregnancy test for me?" I would have loved for there to have been a change of pace, especially since we're definitely going to get a completely different side to Lee now. And it's I don't know why they want to separate certain characters and their storylines that haven't been resolved. Like I'm still trying to figure out, when did she sleep with Zende? Was it in February or January?
It was in February.
And it's now May. So she doesn't know that she had missed her period for the past couple of months now.
Well, she said that her period was irregular. So, I mean, it's
That's
possible
very
if you
sloppy.
if you yeah, I mean, if you don't if you don't have a period every month, there's a chance that you'd be like, especially if it's every 2 months and then every month and then it switches up and it's not 28 days, it's now 30, and next month is 22. I mean, it's all over the place. You don't know when you're going to get what, but she's kind of young for that, I guess. I don't know. I would think, I know like younger girls, like when they first start, their periods are really irregular because it's just starting. It's trying to stabilize itself. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Every woman's different.
Yeah. I bring that up because it's happened in February. We're in May now. The girl would have noticed certain symptoms, but she also said that she was feeling nauseated and nauseous, but she thought it was from stress over what she did with Zende, which I
But
could understand.
now you got to also remember, and I think either you or Keish brought this up. I don't know if it was last week or the week before last. Was this actually 2 months? Because when we were talking about Sheila being in that dungeon, was it actually 2 months, or was some of these days episodes more than, how we had like maybe 5 episodes in the same day? So where are we in this timeline at this point with the show? We know it's been 2 months because the way the episodes fall, right?
Right.
But because some episodes are in the same day, it could be 3 days of what we saw and it's still one day. Kind of like what happened with the when Hope and Thomas slept together. We saw that for 4 days when they were only there for 12 hours. You know what I mean?
I
So
got what you're saying.
right. So is it actually 3 months down the road in this particular timeline on the soap, or is this just been 6 weeks?
You make a valid point, and I think Bold used to be really good at that.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, oh, it's been a few weeks since we heard from her, or it's been some time since we heard. Like, they're very specific, at least recently, to not pinpoint a timeline.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if that's a strategic thing on their part, so they can try to, try to remedy some of the storylines that need help. I would have to say Bold is still pretty good as far as like when it comes to like holidays and kind of catching up, because I remember it's like episodes where so much would go on and like, oh, it's Valentine's Day. So I feel like they film I feel like the storylines are somewhat in real time, even though like for certain episodes, certain episodes expand over a day.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I think they're usually up to date. At least it's what it seems like, especially when it comes to holidays. You're usually up to date.
Yeah, you know what, you're right about that, because when it does come to Christmas and Thanksgiving, right, they'll usually have the episode fall on the actual day. So maybe they just switch it up from time to time. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's just weird because even if when did they sleep together? Beginning of February. 1 month would have been the beginning of March. You should usually know within 4 to 6 weeks.
Oh, absolutely.
Which would have put her somewhere around mid-April or early April, something like that, if she was to see a difference. We're in the middle of May.
She would be in her first trimester. She would almost be approaching her third month.
Right, correct. So, I don't know. We'll see, because it looked like the results will be tomorrow. Because they left us with that cliffhanger with Poppy looking at that test.
Do you think Poppy will reach out to her sister regarding this?
Probably not, because she know Lee would have a fit. And especially with the two Forrester cousins in the middle, that was her original, her original argument was that wherever they go, they always bring trouble.
Mm-mm. And David Hall, you might be correct. She definitely, I don't want to say it out loud, but I think you might be right. I mean, it happened to Paris.
Yeah.
I mean, you never know. It could have been a number of different reasons. I don't know why she went straight to there unless it was something she was already pondering and thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And she just now decided to get a test.
Where did they get that test from so fast? Did she already? Okay, so she threw up in the garbage yesterday, and the next thing we know, there was a test on her desk. Did she already have that test and was thinking about it, or where did the test come from so fast?
That's a great question. I mean, she is an intern. She couldn't possibly have an assistant and everything already, unless she ran out and got it herself. But that was quick.
That was quick.
Or Uber Eats.
An Instacart or something. I don't know.
She is a Gen Zer, so I could imagine, look.
That's what Amaya said. Amaya said you can DoorDash a test.
Yeah, I was about to say, you can DoorDash any and everything. That was the most fun. I would love to do a podcast about this.
Let me tell you, girl. I actually Instacarted an air fryer. I did not feel like going out and getting an air fryer, but I wanted to because I wanted to make some chicken wings. And so I'm like, let me just go on Instacart and see if and sure enough, I ordered it and the guy delivered it.
I will give it to the Gen Zers. This is the best part. Like, you can have any and everything delivered at your front door. That's the
Yeah.
best part. So maybe they she Uber Eats or Instacarted, had a pregnancy test,
Mm-hmm.
just delivered over because she wouldn't dare get it herself
Mm-hmm.
in the public. But
Yeah.
I think I think this girl's pregnant. They haven't done a pregnancy storyline in a couple of years. I think the show's kind of due for one. I guess they're going to go this route about it.
Yeah, the last time we saw that who's the daddy paternity was between Liam, Finn, and
And
Steffy.
Hayes. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Luna, Jimmy John, the president, David Hall is so funny. Matter of fact, I had Jimmy John's for lunch today, and guess what? Uber Eats bought it.
See? See, we should get promotion from Uber Eats.
Right, y'all
Promote
need to
these people's free
sponsor
times.
us over here, right? All
I
right.
utilize your services a lot.
I know, right? Okay, enough of Miss Luna. Let's talk about Little Puke.
Oh,
Little Puke,
really?
yeah, Little Puke. Little Puke get on my nerves, girl. It's like, why did you show up over at Deacon's restaurant? For what? What did you think you were going to accomplish? To tell this man to stop talking to Sheila?
This is what this man has done since he left Hope's house. He goes from his daddy's couch, goes to Forest Decorations, and he goes to El Giardino. I think he just followed routine, and he was just banking for Deacon to be there so he can just say a bunch of nothing, really. And the thing is, I agree with Liam, which is very, very rare for me to say, when it comes to how Deacon really can't expect for everyone to be on board with this, to kind of let people kind of have their time with this. I was a little annoyed with the fact that Deacon is just kind of oblivious to the fact that Steffy is going to be very affected by this. And this is also going to be a huge effect for Sheila's son. And he's kind of making light of it. And I understand he's happy. He has his girl back. He's going to be married. And it's a miracle for him. But Liam did hit some points that really can't be ignored.
Okay. Well, like which points in specific?
Like the fact that this woman is a monster, that he's taking Sheila's word that she's changed. He's taking Sheila's word that the whole sugar story happened, all of this happened, and her hands are wiped clean, which is very rare for Sheila. I would also say that he pointed out how this is not going to be beneficial to Finn's marriage, and the fact that Deacon was saying, like, look, this is a positive thing. Steffy doesn't have to live with the burden that she unalived her husband's mom. As a tongue twister. And okay, she still unalived somebody, and it wasn't the person she was hoping to get rid of. So he's being very unrealistic, and I'm kind of glad that Liam had to kind of spell out kind of what's really about to happen. It's not going to be an easy situation like Deacon thinks it is, because he feels Sheila's saved today, which there's no evidence of.
Well, I find it very, very interesting that, Liam is fighting hard to keep keep Sheila away from Steffy and Kelly. Hope has been more involved around Sheila and Finn than Steffy has, but he's not rallying to cover for Beth. I mean, seriously.
He threw Hope away. He threw Hope away. As soon as he found out that she was involved with Thomas, he was quick to throw Hope away.
Right, but I don't think I'm not referring to per se Hope as in. I mean, he got a daughter with her too. Yeah. He's always talking about my daughter lives at that cliff house and Finn is not keeping her safe. Your other daughter's mother is hanging real close and believing that Sheila has changed. And it's been hanging around because Hope did admit earlier this week that, I've been spending a lot of time with Finn and I saw Sheila myself. Where's the outrage for him coming after Hope saying, look, you need to keep Beth away from Sheila?
Because that's not the woman he wants. He
Exactly.
wants Steffy.
Exactly.
He only focused on what Steffy needs. This is the most he's ever really talked or cared about when it comes to Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, he was always wrapped up in Hope and Beth. It was always Hope and Baby Beth. It was always them. We barely saw Kelly. This is the most we probably ever seen Kelly throughout the series, to be honest. But if depending on the woman he wants, that's what he's going to focus attention on. And that's what I was saying earlier. He threw Hope away, and unfortunately, that means Beth too. Even though he sees her every now and again, he mentions her every now and again, but his focus is to get Steffy, and he knows this is his way in. That's why it's like, I hate agreeing with Liam because I know the result of this. I know the result of this, and he doesn't deserve it.
Well, the interesting thing is, if you know that you want Steffy, I think you just need to sit back and let it all fall apart. Running up telling Deacon that you need to keep him away, da 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 da. It's like, well, you want Steffy? Are you trying to make her leave, meaning Sheila, or whatever the situation is? I just think that they need to hurry up and get this over with. I am over this whole thing with Finn and Steffy. I really am.
Me too. I can't wait for the day that she kicks him out. I am going to have champagne. It could be streamers because it's exhausting. And just to see Liam kind of lurking around, like he's been making a whole lot of visits to Force Creation. He is employee of the month at this point. He probably knows the ins and outs. He's probably ready to design at this point, too. He's made his effort to be around Steffy. He's been circling around this girl for months. And Finn pretty much handed her on a silver platter to him. After all that back and forth about how Liam is this and that, which is all true. Liam is a little puke. He's a waffle king. He just landable. He's a lot of things. We know. But Finn, the fact that he's choosing, well, he chose his wife, allegedly. Mm-hmm. But the fact that he was considering choosing his mother over Steffy is just ridiculous. And
I don't even think remember we were saying he was a people pleaser. He wants them both. I don't think he wants to pick one or the other. Steffy is the one that's putting that ultimatum on the table. He wants both. He wants to be able to spend time with his mother, and at the same time, he wants his marriage. He's not saying, you know what, Steffy, I'm out. If you don't want to be with me and I want my mama, I'm out. He's trying to play both sides of the coin because he wants that connection. He wants to explore it. And then he also wants his wife.
Yeah, I was so happy for Steffy. I was like, good, give him an ultimatum because he can't think he can have it both ways after everything that's happened. There's too much devastation, and I'm going to take the Forresters out. I'm just going to focus on what's happened to Finn and Steffy. His mother still tried to unalive him. Maybe not intentionally. Yes, Steffy instigated. She was a huge component to what happened to both her and Finn. Mm-hmm. I do get that. Mm-hmm. That's not a mother's mate just because he just believes this whole sugar storyline and Sheila had nothing to do with it. Like, there has been way too much. I personally couldn't forgive the person who tried to unalive me, mother or not, personally. So it's kind of comical that he's even calling her mom. When was she ever a mother to you? Mm-hmm. If anything, she was an egg donor. And that's how his father wanted to leave it as, because he has a mother who raised him from literally the ground up. He has Lee. That is his mother. And every time it's mentioned that Sheila is his mother, I hate how it just completely disregards Lee. Right. And you're right, Dawn. He can't cry worth a damn. There is no shade to Tanner. None whatsoever. It's just the facial expressions. I just would like for some tears to drop. I'm going to leave that alone. But the fact that he calls this woman his mother, I'm happy my mother is alive. No, your mother is Lee. End of story. Now, he can have a relationship with the woman who gave birth to him. I wish he would just say that. This woman gave birth to me, because that's all she really is. Everything else, I mean, what else is she besides she's this monster? And if it was a normal circumstance, like take Diane, for example. If this were Diane, I would be like, okay, I guess she can try to make things work. I mean, I guess it worked for Kyle as well. But Sheila has done unconscionable things for decades. Forgive her and call her a mother for what?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Exactly, Justin. She is just an embryo incubator. Exactly. She is not a mother. She didn't help him, put him through college, raised him. None of that. That was all Lee. That's why I was really upset on last week about the fact that Sheila was terrorizing the mother who raised that child. That she wants to like parade around and say like, "Oh, my son." No, that is Lee's son.
Yep. Hold on. We didn't switched off. Hold on. I gotta switch my screen because we just left.
Looking like Charlie Brown with his sweater on. Look at.
Yeah, we left Liam. We got talking about Steffy. Yeah. So here's the thing. Because now with this whole Steffy confrontation and stuff, it's like, which one is it? Are you afraid of this woman and you fear for your life and I live in terror, but you keep going over there?
Yeah, I don't understand Steffi. Like, what is this? She's just like her grandmother. I will give her that. This feel the need to just jump in and start making moves without knowing all the facts and details first. That's usually how Steffi. She's very impulsive. Mm-hmm. But where she's not like her grandmother, at least her grandmother knows how to back away. Like, look, if this situation's not going to work, I want to keep my life. Steffi loves running into danger for whatever reason.
Yeah, it's like... Why? It's like, why? I mean, both times it was Steffi coming into her space. The first time, Sheila was painting her toenails. She came over there. This time, she's thinking about getting married and eating apple slices. Here comes Steffi again. And she couldn't even open the door. Steffi just walked in. It's just like... Because she was finna get up and answer the door. And Steffi was just like, I'm just going to let myself in. Girl. And then she says that if, you don't end this today, you're going to have to answer to me. Are you asking for the trouble, ma'am?
Yeah, and I'm like, this puts you in the last position you were just in. Were you unalived and a real person? I don't understand why she keeps repeating the same stupidity. You would think that all this trauma and then having a bullet in you, it would slow her down and get her to focus on her soft girl era and be a wife and just focus on her job and her
soft
kids.
Girl era. Steffi?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
She really does. She needs to focus more on that, because I'm like, you just busting in doors like you the Terminator or something. Like, girl. Yeah, and once again, Sheila just sitting down, watching her stories, just eating, just relaxing. If you're afraid of somebody, why would you even remotely go that direction? That's why it makes no sense why the Foresters keep going to El Giardino. Like, there's no other restaurant.
Right. I mean, she just keep doing it. I mean, she was about to chase after Sheila when she had the disguise on and she saw that toe missing and Finn had to pull her back. So I remember what happened the last time. It's like you keep doing the same thing over and over again. You're coming in her space. If Sheila, they need to get a restraining order. I mean, and then, I will say that, and I don't know if this was manipulative of Sheila or was she being honest. Steffi said, I am the priority. And Sheila was like, you're supposed to be the priority, but there is some room for me too. That's what she said.
In a normal circumstance, Sure. Absolutely. This is not one. Sheila is not normal for her to think that she's earned that courtesy.
Well, look like Finn want to give it to her, and he was expecting that both of them would be in his life. And even Steffi said, "Oh, he's a good person," and blah blah blah. Yeah, one that you can tell what to do because he'll do whatever you ask him to, Steffi. Which is not. I'm not saying it's not a good thing, but he's telling multiple. He's telling two people the answers that they want. I mean, he told Steffi, "I choose you," and then he also tells Sheila, "I don't ever want to be apart from you again." And in both of those two, now Sheila is more than happy to exist in that same space, but Steffi isn't.
But here's the thing, though. He owes that loyalty to his wife. He committed his life to being her protector and raise their kids together. He does not owe that to Sheila. He does not. He barely knows this woman. If anything, he's getting a lot of information from other people, which I understand this is the battle that he's dealing with. Is he wants to learn from his own experience,
right? Mm-hmm.
Versus always being told by the foresters, like, no, she's dangerous. She's this. Granted, they have facts and they're living proof of what she's done, but I get Finn's position in that regard. But he already made a commitment to Steffi.
Yeah, well, Steffi made some commitments too that she's not holding up. I just don't want to put this on the burden of he needs to be the 100% stand-up guy. She hasn't. That man had to put up with so much over the past 3 years. Yes, he stayed and dealt with it. That's why at this point, this relationship needs to be done. I'm over it.
I agree.
I mean, because, yeah, he put up with some stuff, and so did she, and it's like, okay, she got to deal with his mama or his bio mom, and he had to deal with the bullet in the belly, the paternity situation, and all this other stuff, and it's like, okay, maybe y'all just shouldn't be together. How about that?
I'm good with that. I'm perfectly fine. That's probably why we haven't seen any love scenes. Mm-hmm. It was already written in stone for them both, and I feel for both Finn and Steffi. I feel more for Steffi. I feel Finn is very foolish to say that he's going to protect his wife and still put the person that she is terrified, her family's terrified of, in a position where she can pop up whenever she wants to or be around the kids whenever she wants to. It took this whole safety away, so I would look at Finn differently. And I feel for Steffi because it's like she really loves him. She at least gave him the ultimatum versus her kicking him out. I was honestly expecting her to kick him out, but I was actually happy for the ultimatum because it shows that she still is trying to fight for her marriage. She's not trying to be an a-hole to her husband, but she also has to kind of put her foot down as far as what would make her feel safe. Other than that, she kind of lets this man do his thing. This is the only huge major issue that they had. Other than that, they've been pretty much solid except for the Hayes fraternity thing.
Well, I mean, the other thing is with this is that she demanding. She want to go around and tell everybody what to do. She told the whole situation with Thomas, and of course we got to see that on Friday between her and Hope. I mean, it's just like, girl, chill out.
Yeah,
take several seats.
That's what I was.
You going around telling Sheila what to do, telling Finn what to do, telling Deacon what to do, telling Hope what to do, telling Thomas what to do. It's like, when's somebody going to tell you what to do, which is to go take several seats? And you listen.
They do. She just chooses not to do so.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Foresters, all of them.
Yeah. I'm just, it's with the point with Steffi, it's just like, girl, please. And if they want to go ahead and put her back with Liam, just do it and get it over with already. Y'all been teasing us with this whole thing since last summer.
And David Hall said the problem also is Steffi is a boss at work and she's bringing the boss mentality home with her. which is true, but that man still put a ring on it, so he liked it a lot and had a baby with her. I think that's also the appeal that Liam likes about Steffy too, versus Hope. So I think that's just never going to go away. Same way Brooke is never going to, forget about her traits either. So it's just, this is who Steffy is. She can't forget that.
Yeah, well, Melissa says Steffi needs to take the broomstick out of her behind and use it to fly overseas to visit her mom.
There could have been so much use for Taylor. Just so many storylines she was needed for, and I can't believe they got rid of her in November. That is so...
Yeah, that sucks.
Stupid. She could have been over on Y&R helping Connor out. She could, just... I know Taylor was not a part of this, but I'm like, when they mentioned Taylor, I'm like, Taylor could have been used.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I'm wondering, because that wedding is next week, and I'm wondering if that's going to be the deciding factor, because remember, they want, according to the previews, Deacon wants Finn to be the best man at the wedding next week. And if he decides to do so and stand up for Sheila and Deacon's wedding, she's going to be done.
That man already has that suit dry, clean, pressed, ready to go. He's excited, ecstatic to go to his mama's wedding at this point.
Oh, man. Oh, girl, this is crazy. All right, we're going to keep it moving because we got to talk about this other situation. Oh, wrong picture. Where is she? Okay. Between Zende and Brooke.
Oh, my Lord. I watched this 3 times because I could not believe the words that came out of that woman's mouth. The funny part was, she said, how could you do this to your family member? How could you? How could you sleep through the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, everybody, the daughter's husbands?
No. No, you did not.
How could you for 30 years? And that's what I was wishing they would throw some pushback. I was so upset this man were crying. What were you crying for?
Well, I mean,
this woman is a Hollywood Walk of Fame. Everyone been there.
And the thing is, I mean, she said she wanted to send him off to International or Forrester, Antarctica. And I'm like, is it that bad?
I'm like, that was cheesy writing. I'm like, even Thomas didn't get that.
Well, it was just over the top for me. Because, I mean, she was spazzing out about this whole situation. When Bold and the Beautiful for the last 37 years have been about affairs and cheating scandals.
Mm-hmm.
And then you coming up here acting like he's the first person in 37 years that cheated, that got into an affair.
Like, oh my God, you slept with your cousin's girlfriend? You knew he was committed to her. How could you?
Girl, and
I'm like...
you slept with Eric, got a kid with him too. You slept with his adopted son or son, Ridge, you got one. You also slept with Thorne.
And Nick. And they also have a child together.
Thank you. So, I mean, and you slept with your daughter's husband, which is how Hope is here. You also slept with Hope's boyfriend, even though y'all were masked up. It's like, girl, you don't have no room to talk about anything.
Oh, and a little few hookups with Thomas. And so she's made her rounds for her to sit here and think she has any room to judge about what went down. And the thing is, I can see if Zende was the one who orchestrated this whole thing, but he was unaware of the fact that that girl was taking meds, we'll call them meds. And he got wrapped into the situation. And on top of that, he's owning it. He's apologizing. How many times does this man have to own up and apologize? I can't think of how many times Brooke has ever made an effort to apologize and actually mean it. I can't think of not one instance. but she always feels that she is right.
Cheryl said, "Is there even a Forster Antarctica? Does that exist?"
She was just way over the top. I'm like, even Carter didn't get that energy.
Yeah,
But
and the thing,
Zende is.
I started to give Carter a side eye when he was yelling at Zende, but he did bring up his transgression. So he was like, "Look, don't do like me." Now I could understand that. She should have said that. No, she's pointing and yelling and screaming and wants to tell. And even RJ was like, "Mom, I told you to stay out of this. And you confronted
What?
Zende?"
I'm a firm believer, and this is what I just always been told. If you want somebody out of it, don't put them in it.
That is true. He did tell his mama. Well, wait a minute. How did Brooke find out? Did he tell, or was it Luna having a conversation?
No, he told
He
his
told.
mama, then she went to Luna,
Okay.
and then now she's tearing into Zende. That's the weird writing once again, and we don't know the real time frame because as far as we knew, they were all working together.
Right.
And everything's running smoothly. Even Rich is saying that. So the three of them haven't had a conversation, but why is this, a big deal now? I don't know.
I don't know. It's just crazy. And then we're going to, because we got about 8 more minutes, because I want to keep it at an hour. Then we got him. I mean, he broke down into tears. And I know you were talking about this yesterday. Like, why is he crying?
I was so upset. Like, give Finn some of them tears. Give Finn some of them tears. I did not like the fact that she was really beating it, like really digging into him as he's crying. I'm like, my goodness. And I'm thinking, and Brooke has no weight over at Force of Creations. You are a houseplant.
Yeah, that's looking to Mika Roberts. She said they should send Brooke to Antarctica and let the cold freeze her behind.
She probably made her ways there too. That's probably why she said that. She probably opened it up there. That's why she's the only one who knows it's there. All that foot traffic. Goodness. Courtesy of her.
Yeah, I mean, I thought this is a hard situation. Number one, he liked the girl. He thought which technically, again, like I said in my recap, he should have went back to the party and say, "Hey, RJ, listen, your girl is in my bed. I don't know what's going on with her." But she, from what he thought, plus he was a little tipsy himself because he had some champagne, and thought that the open door and the invitation was there. And now to realize that she thought she was sleeping with RJ and the poppy mints and all this stuff, and now he didn't got into his feelings and he can't get this girl. RJ is pissed off and this man, I can't imagine what he could be going through right now.
I know. I feel for Zende. That is terrible. And here's the thing. And Nana, you mentioned something, and I fully respect that. Ridge did the very same thing with Brooke. Very similar scenario. He was unaware that she had took something, and they proceeded to do what they do. And that's her destiny, by the way. So they blur those lines. That's why I'm not. This is where I'm curious about the writing going forward, because there's a lot of fans who pointed that out regarding Ridge, and for Brooke to even come down on Zende when she wants to marry the man who did the same thing, and she forgave him. So.
Yeah,
and it's a very blurred line, and I don't like it.
Because I mean, that's a very, very heavy term to label on someone. And so I try to, because that term, true or not, is very destructive. And so for them, that's why they were very persistent, the writers, even though they blurred the lines. they were very persistent on saying or having Luna and even RJ and even, saying, I know he wouldn't do anything like that. No, no, no. It wasn't forced or, anything like that. They tried to make sure that they wanted to cover their bases by putting that out there in the script like, no, this is not that. You know what I mean?
And it's not benefiting because the way the storyline is being written now, Zende is still getting the blame for it.
Correct.
Like he's getting the full blame for it at that. And Maya actually pointed out something true. Yeah, Ridge did it twice. You're 100% correct. I forgot about what he just did with Caroline. But Zende is taking the full blame for this whole incident, and I don't like the fact that they're doing a very
smear campaign.
With this character, and there's been other characters who have done very similar things. Thomas, Ridge twice. So if there's any heat that goes the character Zende way, I'm very livid when I saw the comments. I was like,
well, and you're right about that. It was kind of, I won't say downplayed, but they saw it more of a story on a soap versus he's a creep, he's horrible, he's this. And so the other thing is about this situation is that Zende was a good dude. Before this storyline, he was the guy that was sweet to his girlfriend and proposing and being a good designer. He came from a background where both his parents had died and was adopted and, all of these things, and really didn't have, the craziness that the other Forresters were going through. And then now they decide to do this, and it's been a drag race. Meaning cars. I had to clarify that because that can have multiple meanings. They've been dragging him in with some of the fans have been dragging him, and then of course the way that the storyline is written, you got Brooke all is in his face too. So it just sucked.
Aditha, Eric did it twice too. There's been plenty of people in the same position, but it seems like it's amplified now in this day and age, and I feel bad for the actor. I'm glad that they're pointing it to the character, and I saw a little bit regarding like people shaming the actor, which is stupid. He's an actor, but
they did the same thing to Wayne Brady as well. When he was, did the whole baby kidnapping thing, they attacked him offline. He had to do a whole video saying, look, I'm just playing a script. I'm not Dr. Buckingham. I'm Wayne Brady. Yeah, girl, that's how, go ahead.
Yeah, it just sucks, and I really wish they would clean this up. It's unfortunate, but I think this girl is gonna end up pregnant, and I feel this is gonna just make it even worse for Zende because it's always gonna be the guy you don't want to be the father.
Well, I knew it was probably going to be leaning to more pregnancy because when Zende told Brooke yesterday, look, this is all over, it's done with, we don't even have to deal with this anymore. We can just move on. And then here she go throwing up in the other room. So I'm like, well, it ain't over yet, Zende.
Yeah, poor guy. This is sucky for him.
All right, you guys. It was a good one. I'm still up in the air because my daughter comes tomorrow. And my son, I got to pick him up from the airport on Friday night. So I'm considering Sunday because we're supposed to spend Saturday together, and then my son goes back Sunday night. So, would you guys, well, he'd be hanging out with his friends most of the day on Sunday. Bree, are you available at all on Sunday? I'm going to talk to Keish and Trish and see what their Sunday look like because I might be able to pull off a live on Sunday afternoon.
I think I should be there. I'm single,
Okay.
so that you
You're
got
so
plenty.
funny. Good girl. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah, that's no problem.
yeah, so we will not be having a live on Friday night because I will be stuck in the long line at the airport waiting to pick up my son. So that's not going to be feasible. And then Saturday, I'm going to be out with them all day. And then Sunday is Sunday afternoon. Probably I'm looking maybe like 2-ish, which would be 3 your time, Bree, because you're an hour ahead of me.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll put a
That's
message.
fine.
Okay. I'll put a message out to Trish and Keish and see. And Cheryl says Sunday is fine with me. Plus, that'll give us, we can even, if the spoilers are out early this time, because this week they weren't. If the spoilers are out, we can actually kind of touch on what's coming up next week, for the week of the 20th through the 24th as well, so
Ooh.
we can kind of toss in and mix because this whole thing with the winters tomorrow, I do not want you guys to miss that. We gotta talk about that, and I know we'll probably
Oh, we
chat
will.
about it in the group chat. But so yeah, you guys, I'm gonna end it here. Stay tuned for more recaps for the remaining of the week. You guys have a wonderful weekend. You now have your Friday night back, so if you're gonna have to do something fun, there you go. And then just stay tuned. I'll put it out early so you'll get a notification about the live on Sunday. All right. All right,
Sounds
girl.
good.
Okie dokie, you guys. So Janet, I'm looking. I don't know what time zone that you're in, Janet, but I'm looking at somewhere around 2 o'clock Central Standard Time. So yeah, I'm looking at about Sunday afternoon, 2, 3 Eastern. If you're on the West Coast, noon. All right. Okay.
All right.
Thanks, Bree. We had fun, girl. I had fun.
I love the Wednesdays.
Yeah,
I
me
get to
too.
breathe. It's so much fun with you guys.
Yep.
Thank you, too.
Oh, no problem, girl. So I will chat with you guys later. Bye.
Bye-bye.